Today I'm going to talk to you about things that I do to save money. As you may know if you've watched some of my previous YouTube videos, I've got a goal to become financially independent within about the next 7 years. I need to save through investments 25 times my annual expenses amount, which is pretty much the rule that most people seeking financial independence will use to work out their FIRE figure. To work towards that goal, I save as much as I can each month, and of the money that I save, I invest it into stocks and shares ISA. So to support this goal, I try and do as many things as I can to save money. Now, I know some people who are seeking financial independence will try and be as frugal as possible. I kind of like to see myself as somewhere in the middle. I try and be frugal and careful with money where I can, but I don't take things to extremes because I also believe in living life for today as well. I want to enjoy myself, so I'm not going to skimp out on things that I feel are important to me. I'm just going to be a bit choosy about what I decide to spend my hard-earned money on. Here is my list of the 10 things that I do to save money. The first thing that I would say is that I rarely ever buy new clothes. I've found this has made a tremendous difference for my budgeting, and I realised when I started doing this that actually I had so many clothes that I'd accumulated over the years, and I often get bought clothes anyway for birthdays and Christmas, but I've been able to go for about the last, I would say, 3 years without having to buy that many new clothes. Now, what I would say is I do quite enjoy going for a little shop every now and again, but often I'll just window shop, or if I'm in a shop and I see something, I kind of implement my do I really remember this and think about this rule. So if I see an item in a shop, then if I go away and it keeps popping back into my mind, if I really think, gosh, I really do like that item, then I may go back and make a purchase. So the first way that I cut down on expenses is by really keeping my clothes shopping in check. The second thing that I save money on is manicures and pedicures. I don't always have my nails manicured anyway. Sometimes I just quite like to have them natural, like at the moment. But on those times where I do actually want my nails doing, I really love getting a gel manicure because I find it's the only way that nail polish actually stays on my nails. I invested in a Sensational gel nail kit from Boots. I don't know if they still sell them. I suspect they probably do. At the time my starter kit was £60, but it's probably more expensive now. So the gel nail kit is really easy to use. Nail polishes tend to cost about £15 a bottle, so they are quite pricey, but I've never run out of a bottle of the nail polish colours yet. When you get the starter kit, you also get all the extra bits that you need to put on your nails, like the primer and the base coat and the top coat, and also the little implement for pushing your cuticles back. I just paint my nails myself using the gel kit, and I find that they stay on my nails perfectly for about a week. They'll probably start lifting around some of the edges, especially if I've painted up too close to my cuticles, after about a week. But nevertheless, it's pretty good. And I also use the same kit to do pedicures, especially when I'm going away on holiday. And the pedicures that I've done, I find will last about a month. It's fantastic. So the second way that I save on my expenses is by investing in the Sensational gel kit and using that instead of paying for manicures and pedicures. The third way that I save on expenses is on haircuts. I have kept a fairly plain standard hairstyle for many years now, and I find that I don't need to go for haircuts all that often because it's quite a long straight cut. I probably only go to the hairdressers about three times a year, often maybe just 2 times a year. And in between times, if I need to trim my fringe, when I have a fringe, I'll just trim it in a little bit myself. At the moment, I'm going with the longer fringe look because I just felt like a change. When I do get my hair done though, I do splurge a little bit because I get low lights put in, so it is reasonably expensive. I managed to shop around and find a cheaper hairdresser the last time, and I got my hair done for about £75, whereas prior to that, the last few hairdressers I've been to is about £100. So I only go about 2 or 3 times a year, but because I have the colours in, it is a little bit more expensive when I do go. The fourth way that I save money, save on expenses, is by having a Costco membership. I've had a Costco membership for years and years now, and we're very lucky that we have a Costco in Coventry where I live, and it's really not that far from me, it's just down the road really. So it's great to go in there and just have a browse, frankly, because they have some really interesting stuff in, but also to go and stock up, especially on bulky items. We buy all of our sort of basic household toiletries and things from there, and we make quite a saving doing that, and I just really love being a member anyway. I think it's great fun going for a shop there. So that's another way that I save money. The fifth thing that I do to save money, making packed lunches and taking these to work. I've done this for years and I find it so much cheaper than buying from sandwich shops or going out for lunch. The other thing that I like about it is you can take whatever you like. If you're on some sort of health kick, which sometimes I am, or if I'm on a diet, then you can take the things that really fit in with what you're doing. I've taken things in the past like tins of soup to work and heated them up in the microwave. I've taken salads that I've made, sandwiches, and it's just a great way to save money because doing packed lunches that way would cost me, I don't know, less than £10 a week easily, probably close to even £5 a week. But buying out either in a sandwich shop or elsewhere, let's say you're easily going to be probably £4 a day, so £20 a week. So it's a really easy way to save money, and if you're not taking lunches, your own lunches already to work, we really recommend that you do this. The sixth thing that I do is to do with what I drink. Ever since I went to the Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within event, I quite significantly changed my diet. And one of the biggest things that I changed was really making sure that I get enough water to drink. The last day of the Unleash the Power Within event is all about health and being full of energy and vitality, and doing that through your diet and your fitness. And I really took that on board because I just saw the energy that Tony Robbins had and Joseph McClendon III. They were just so full of energy, and I was sat there quite a bit younger than them, feeling absolutely exhausted after the 4 days. So I would say that the sixth way, getting round to the point that I save money, is that I now drink mostly water. So I save quite a lot of money. I don't buy sodas or even squashes. It's just mostly plain water for me. I have a quota of 4 of my water flasks that I drink a day. It's about this big. I carry it around with me everywhere. In fact, here is my water thing now. Like I said, I take it around everywhere with me. Yeah, so I drink 4 of these every day, which I worked out based on my weight and my height, how much it's recommended that I should drink each day. If I manage to drink the 4, then I allow myself some of the drinks, so maybe tea, or if I'm having an alcoholic drink, I might have something else in the evening. So number 6 is that I drink mostly water now and therefore save money that way. The seventh thing that I do to save money is when I'm out and about, I try and pop a snack bar into my handbag so that if I get peckish, I can just eat that instead of feeling the need to go and purchase a snack from somewhere which can be quite pricey and not as good for me. I tend to take an organic breakfast bar, and they're a lovely quick fix for if you get peckish. And that's another great way to save money. The eighth thing I do is, instead of buying coffees out from a coffee shop, I make tea or coffee at home. I have a drinking flask. It's called Contigo. It's by Contigo. It's watertight when you close it, and it keeps your drinks red hot. It takes so long for my drinks to cool down in it, but it's brilliant. So I'll make my tea or coffee at home. I did quite a few years ago invest in a Tassimo machine from Costco. They had it on offer, so if I want a latte, which would be my go-to coffee, then I just make one at home and pop it in my Contigo. So yes, I save money by basically taking my own hot drinks with me instead of going and buying them out at an expensive coffee shop. The ninth way that I save on expenses is probably a bit of a peculiar one. When I make a cup of tea, if I'm making a cup of tea for 2 people, then I will boil the kettle and I pour the hot water into both mugs, and I put the tea bag into the other person's cup and let it brew and make their tea, and then I reuse that tea bag for me because I don't mind my tea being not as strong. I'm happy to let the tea bag brew for a little bit, and it saves money because if you think about it, your whole box of tea bags that you buy, if you think that you get double the amount of cups from that, it makes sense to me. And also, years ago, people would use teapots a lot more. I do have a teapot, but I rarely use it unless there's more than 2 of us having a cup of tea. So really just sharing a tea bag across 2 mugs, I just see as similar to that really. And finally, the 10th way that I save money is by shopping around when it comes time to renew my home and car insurance. Years ago, I worked in IT for a company who sold home and car insurance products, and one of the very first things that I learnt, I was a bit naive, was that you should never let your insurance policies renew, because when you go and purchase a policy, you're going to be getting special introductory offers from the insurers who show up at the top of the list. But when the year comes round, that special offer is no longer in place, so you're not going to get the best deal possible, because if you go onto a price comparison website again, chances are you're going to get a fresh offer from a new insurer. So if you're able to switch around your insurances, then I would highly recommend at least checking every year before your policy renews if you can get a better deal. It doesn't take too long if you use a price comparison website, and it can save you hundreds of pounds actually. Even if you're paying monthly instead of annually, you can still save a lot of money that way. So those are 10 things that I do to save money. I have to say, this is not an exhaustive list. There are many other things. They're just the first 10 things that I thought of today when I sat down to write a list for this video. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's the first really in my series of financial independence videos that I'm hoping to film. If you like it, please give it a like, that would be great. And also, if you've got any suggestions for videos that you'd like to see, especially on ways of becoming financially independent or topics around that, do let me know, because I'm keen to create a channel that's all about seeking financial independence, and it would be lovely to get some ideas from you. So I will say bye for now and see you next time.